What is going on, my beautiful people? So today we're going to be reacting to Harry Kane looks unstoppable by football iconic. Now, you know what? I have a confession to make. I'll raise my hand up now, live and direct, and say I was one of those people who thought Harry Kane was going to be a one-season wonder. Yes, I raised my hand up. I was wrong. I'm sorry. I don't know what it was or what it is about Harry Kane. What it was about Harry Kane. I don't know. I just thought his first season and where he banged in all those goals for Spurs just looked a bit fluky. I thought he would be found out. I thought he would be, I don't know, a one-season wonder. One of my rare bad takes. I don't have many bad takes, but the Harry Kane take was a bad take, and he's just proven me wrong. I've seen him over the years just become one of the best strikers in the world, and he's gotten better and better with age. His hold up play is immaculate, and he's so good. And what he's doing right now with Bayern, after scoring 30 goals for Spurs last season in the Premier League, he's just ripping up the Bundesliga, and I'm glad to see that Harry Kane is now getting the respect, because sometimes he could be a bit disrespected, maybe because he was in Spurs, maybe because he wasn't winning trophies. I mean, obviously the English media love him, but when you talk about who's the best striker in the world, most times people go Suarez or Lewandowski. Harry Kane wasn't really getting his due, let's say, but now he's definitely, without a doubt, in my opinion anyway. I know people will say Haaland and whatnot, but I feel like Harry Kane is just more of a complete striker. I would say Harry Kane is definitely the best striker in the world right now. But I've rambled on for a bit too long. Let's go ahead and check out the video. So without further ado, let's get it on.
Do I need to elaborate on this photo? Harry Kane is on a mission, everyone. This guy is unbelievable. You take one of the most consistent strikers over the past 10 years from an inconsistent team and put him in one of the best teams on the planet. What is there to expect other than fireworks? Sure, let's be real. We all knew he was going to do damage, but even still, I don't know if I was mentally ready for all of this. In the last 10 years, Harry Kane has scored at the very least 20 goals in a season.
My button is working. He's been just I mean, yes, we expected him. We saw Haaland go from the Bundesliga to the Premier League and rip up both leagues. We knew and expected Harry Kane to go to the Bundesliga and smash them. But what he's doing, somehow he still managed to surprise us and shock us with the amount of just goals that he's just bagging. So, yeah, it's pretty impressive.
That's very impressive. That includes this year. It's November. He's only needed 16 games to do it in his debut season in Germany. He's a cheat code. He's well on course to matching and surpassing a record that once took half a century to break. Robert Lewandowski is out here pumping out the TikToks in an effort to distract him, but my guy, I don't think it's working. Please stop. Harry Kane is a monster. We've all known about his abilities for years now, but now we're seeing him really begin to unlock his full potential. The question on everyone's mind, though, is what is in store for Harry Kane and Bayern Munich?
Just a quick question. Do you guys think, so depending, if Bayern managed to win the Champions League and England win the ball, no, and I kind of jumped ahead of myself there, and England win the Euros next year, do you guys think Harry Kane wins the Ballon d'Or? I mean, I would personally love to see that happen, because I don't think Harry Kane has ever been like a Ballon d'Or shout at any, like a realistic Ballon d'Or shout at any point in his career so far. And even now, people are still saying Mbappe, Haaland, Bellingham even. But if Harry Kane fires Bayern to the Champions League and wins the Euros with England, he could win. He could win it. You never know.
Yo, what is going on, everyone? Really hope you're all doing well. I'm Tinashe. Welcome back to the channel.
The fact that, sorry, again, just to emphasize this, the fact that it's sort of like sitting down here and digesting it, more surprising for Harry Kane to win the Ballon d'Or next year, more surprising him winning the Ballon d'Or than Jude Bellingham winning the Ballon d'Or, kind of shows you how Harry Kane sort of stands in the pecking order. Maybe he needs to just boost his PR. I don't know. Maybe it's the Madrid factor that's sprinkled over Bellingham, and obviously him being a midfielder and scoring so many goals for Madrid right now. But it's actually kind of shocking that Harry Kane is in no one's lists, like really, like in the top 3 of like potential Ballon d'Or winners next year. He could shock everyone.
From an onlooker's perspective, it's really very hard not to.
And if it does, you heard it here first. You heard it here first. Okay. Now back to
like Harry Kane. Being passed up by several teams, going on failed loan spells, being a failed goalkeeper, breaking through with 20 plus goals per season consistently, yet still having people doubt his class, no major scandal, married his childhood girlfriend, MBE, advocate for normalizing conversations around mental health. Fair play, my man. Fair play. Is it even fair that Bayern Munich have had 2 of the top 5 strikers in world football over the last 5 years, over a period of about 3 years or so? This over here is my list in no exact order. Fight me in the comments, I dare you. In Robert Lewandowski's record-breaking year, only 3 order. Fight.
Is that Gundogan? Bonus. Just Linga that 1 month in 2018. I mean, real ones know. J Links, he was special.
In the comments, I dare you. In Robert Lewandowski's record-breaking year, only 3 seasons ago, he had amassed 13 goals after 11 games played. In case you need reminding, the record Lewandowski broke that year was a 49-year-old goal-scoring record held by the late, great Gerd Müller. Müller scored 40 goals, Lewandowski 41. Here we have a chart of the goal-scoring progression for all 3 players over the course of the season. It paints a very telling picture of what we're dealing with in Harry Kane. The man has scored 17 goals after only 11 league games, with an additional 4 in the Champions League. And something tells me he's only getting started. I feel like we're getting better each game. Kane said this after Bayern battered Borussia Dortmund 4-0 in the Klassiker, a match where he scored a hat-trick. In fact, he has a hat-trick of hat-tricks so far already. And he's also quite petty. Went all the way to Germany, yet couldn't help but score an assist versus United. Nice one. Whoever was in charge of driving the narrative that Harry Kane was this close to joining Man United really needs to reveal themselves right now.
Yes.
I just want to talk.
Same.
I just want to talk.
Same.
I'm certain that the idea did come across the minds of Harry Kane and his team throughout the entire process while everything was going on, but I don't think they considered it for more than a couple of seconds. Going to Man United after about 2013 is a massive risk, even if you're going just for a bag, just to secure the check. Especially if you're someone like Harry Kane, who's got all the money in the world. Every big team in the world is offering him all the money in the world. What he really needs now is trophies. It's safe to say that this man has been...
Okay. So I know Real spent quite a lot of money on Jude already. And Harry Kane is about to turn 30 if he's in 30 already. But why didn't Madrid go for Harry Kane? I don't know. Because they lack a striker. Like a pure striker to the point where Bellingham has to sort of fulfill that false striker role or secondary striker role or whatever. The fact that Madrid didn't go for him is kind of shocking. The fact that it was really only Bayern concretely that like put in a bid for Harry Kane this season. It's strange. It's really strange.
Been settling in very well to life in Munich, which might not seem like the case to some. Of course, this isn't helped by headlines that say that he's been living out of a hotel for the past few months. It seems his family has yet to join him. Then again, if said hotel is going for £10,000 a night, as is being reported, I can't imagine he's feeling any sort of discomfort. At the same time, the reports came from The Sun, so we never know, do we? 100 million euros look like a bad deal to some, although I'm pretty sure that a lot of the people that felt that way aren't going to be too quick to reveal themselves anytime soon. He's already outscored Bayern Munich's top goal scorer from last season. Serge Gnabry scored 17 goals all year. Kane's already scored 21, and again,
It's November.
After the first few games, I said it would take a few games for the others to get to know me. I'm not just a regular number 9 who stays up all the time. I like to come deep. He's not wrong.
That's the thing I love about Harry Kane. It wasn't so evident, or maybe I wasn't focusing on it as much. Like his passing ability, like in the beginning of his time in Spurs, but just over time, you've seen his level of link-up play, of hold-up play, his vision, his passing. Like Harry Kane isn't a meta striker like a Haaland, someone who's fast, who's gonna break the lines. He's never been, because I was about to say, because he's 30 now, but he's never been that. He's never been blessed with pure pace. But his ability on the ball, ability to bring others into play, ability to pick a pass, to find his teammates. It's just like he's such a complete striker. His finishing is basically second to none. His vision is up there with some of the best playmakers in the world, and so is his passing. Like, the only thing he doesn't have as a striker maybe is pace, but pace is not necessary. I mean, you can see the amount of goals he's scoring. Like, Harry Kane is just so good, so good.
We go on about this all the time, and every time this topic comes up, we all come to the same conclusion. A more complete number 9 does not exist in world football right now. It's very arguable that that's been the case for years now. Anyone that watches the Premier League knows that what I'm saying is not recency bias in the slightest. Every salty PL fan is just more comfortable saying it now that he isn't their team's problem anymore, and he plays for one of the top dogs. Talking briefly on players like Robert Lewandowski, Erling Haaland, Karim Benzema, I'll even add players like Victor Osimhen, Lautaro Martinez, just to name some of the world-renowned.
All the names is listed off. All the names is listed off there. Even Benzema, who I think also has good link-up play. He's not on the same level as Harry Kane when it comes to link-up play and passing and just decision-making on the ball. And I would even say finishing as well, because Harry Kane is just, when it comes to finishing, is just top level. Like, Harry Kane is so good. So good, man. Like, now it feels like I'm blazing, but honestly, Harry Kane is so good. It's crazy.
Now number 9s in world football right now. All of those players are devastating and offer something great. I'm not here to talk about which one is better or worse for whatever purpose, this or that. What I'm saying is that Harry Kane offers something different. Something so unique. He's played in so many roles as an attacker, and he's mastered so many of them. I guess he had to when you look at the Spurs sides that he played in over the years, and how he kind of had to make up for all their inadequacies. I'm not going to name names. I watched the Classica a week or two back, and Dortmund just did not know how to deal with him. By doing what he does best, he just dumbfounds defenders with his movement.
I've watched a couple of Bayern matches. Wow, I've paused a lot in today's video. Maybe I'm a secret Harry Kane fan. I've always been a Harry Kane fan, but I don't know. I'm just feel passionate about it. I've watched a couple of Bayern matches just because of Harry Kane, especially when he started scoring like goals regularly. He drops deep, and then Sané and whoever is, maybe Musiala, whoever's making runs above him, and just make that run. He turns, takes a beautiful touch, and just plays them in. Even in the Champions League, the way he played was in Muller, and he missed the chance. Like, some of his passes, man. Okay. I'll calm down with the Harry Kane praise. He's really good.
One of his classic moves is he comes deep. Defenders are caught between two minds, wondering whether they should follow him or stick to their positions. The wide men are given free range to push forward. He's bolstering the midfield, meaning that there are now numerical advantages. It just creates chaos. And when it works well. But sometimes it doesn't. There are always two sides to every story. Bayern Munich as a collective are not as strong as we've known them to be over the years. They don't look as bad as they did at certain points last year, but at the same time, the doubts still exist. After Bayern drew 2-2 to Leipzig, dropping very crucial points a few weeks ago, Thomas Tuchel said, "We weren't there. We weren't on the pitch at all. It took ages for us to implement the plan, to find spaces. We made too many mistakes. The game was static and slow." He was mostly referring to the first half, where Bayern went into the interval at 2 goals down, and what I can only imagine was a stern talking to was what they needed to, salvage a point. This is also the same Leipzig that beat Bayern 3-0 in the Super Cup at the start of the season, embarrassing a team that had managed to just scrape their 11th Bundesliga title in a row. They also robbed Harry Kane of receiving his first ever major trophy in professional football, something that was probably well received in certain parts of North London. Adding on to some of the concerns, it's only been a few weeks since they suffered a 2-1 defeat against 3rd division side Saarbrücken in the DFB Pokal. They've suffered an unideal amount of injuries and suspensions over the past few weeks, particularly in those important areas behind the front line. Kimmich and Goretzka simply do not track back, meaning that they'll likely be heavily in the market for a specialized CDM, which they're not going to be the only one too. Liverpool, for example, are also there, so might be a bit tricky. What I will say is that Leimer was an incredible utility signing and workhorse, but they need someone more specialized. Manuel Neuer may never ski again after suffering what I can only imagine was a very avoidable long-term injury. Manu went skiing in December 2022 and spent 350 days on the sideline before returning at the end of October. We can only hope he gets back to his best in the coming months. All of this contributes to an overall problem with consistency. Even though players like Jamal Musiala, Kingsley Coman, Leroy Sané, they're all having good seasons so far, but the fact that they haven't been playing with a true number 9 for over a year is really showing at times. They just don't really seem to see Kane's runs sometimes. They kind of run into his channels at times too. That does seem to be changing though. Who would have thought all we'd have to do was be patient and let them adjust? It's rocket science. The results may not show it sometimes, and if you take a look at the Bundesliga table, you might easily brush it off, but Bayern over the course of almost all of 2023 are a bit of a mixed bag. Whenever Bayern have taken to the pitch over the last year or so, you don't always fully know which Bayern is going to show up, what tactics they're going to use, how they're going to look, the overall picture of it all.
They haven't been as convincing since when they won the Champions League during COVID. Like that Bayern was scary. That Bayern was like prime, like I don't know what's the word, machine Bayern, prime, like, oh, when they take to the pitch they're winning. They haven't been as convincing since then for whatever reason, for many reasons, but maybe now because Lewandowski they've lost now to Barcelona. Maybe now with a more recognizable number 9, with what I still believe to be a world-class manager in Tuchel, they can get back to it. Yeah, it's been a rocky start, but I think if they click and they get the players back from injury, they could mount a serious challenge for the Champions League, definitely.
And I will admit, they do definitely have problems, but the severity of the problems, I would say, is mostly media-driven. 29 points out of a potential 33 points available, while scoring an average of 4 goals a game, is as close to perfection as any team not named Bayern Munich can ask for in Germany. That's amazing, but why is it not that amazing, and why are people still giving Bayern grief? They're number 2. One classy Spanish dude is outclassing the league better, and looks more convincing at that. That's probably where the real story lies, where all the negativity and criticism is stemming from. It's important that there is always some sort of controversy surrounding Hollywood FC. Some headlines are claiming that Bayern are overly reliant on Kane. This is something that isn't uncommon for Bayern either. Frank Ribery, Robert Lewandowski, Arjen Robben, just to name a few, Bayern have been accused of being overly reliant on them in the past, which I don't think is that big of a deal. It's kind of a non-issue. Name me one successful team in world football that hasn't been over-reliant on one important player to some extent at times. The only reason I'm mentioning this is because there is currently a team in the league that is being widely heralded for being the dictionary definition of a cohesive unit. Bayer Leverkusen are on top. None of their players feature in the league's top 5 scoring.
I mean, fair play to Guirassy. He's doing really, really well, but that's scary. 17 goals after 11 games is scary. But yeah, I've seen Leverkusen and I've seen what they're doing this season and all the praise that Xabi Alonso is getting, but I haven't really sat down to watch any of the matches or any videos about Leverkusen. I'll probably do that over the coming week or so, just so I can get a more in-depth understanding of what Xabi Alonso is doing, how Leverkusen are ticking and whatnot. But fair play to Leverkusen as well, but just looking at this goal scoring stat is crazy.
Individuals, nor have any of them scored more than 7 in the current campaign. However, Leverkusen players dominate the assist charts. As long as this is still the case and it's working and the narrative persists, Bayern will be an easy target for criticism. All of that is just my 2 cents. Let me know what you guys think. I don't know. Am I crazy? On the topic of the Bundesliga and outrageous scoring, we can't forget the scoring exploits of Serhou Guirassy either. The Stuttgart man has been on fire lately, and kind of out of nowhere. 27 years old, and he's already outscored his best goal-scoring season to date with 16 so far in all competitions. He's no stranger to a hat-trick himself. He's bagged 2 so far this season. Some may even be surprised to know that on a goal-per-game basis, Guirassy sits above Kane, 1.67 goals per game versus 1.54 for Kane. Hey, they're rhymed. Both of these stats ultimately may not mean that much, particularly because we're just under a third of the way through the season, but here is some food for thought. This is the same chart from earlier, showing the Bundesliga's record breakers. This is where Guirassy sits. It's quite remarkable. Who knows how this season will ultimately end up? And there we have it. Let me know what you think about Kane, Guirassy, Leverkusen, Munich, all of it. I don't know, just put it all in the comments. I read all the comments. Feel free to follow all the socials. Feel free to subscribe. That's all for me today. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you're having a great day. Cheers, and I will catch you in the next one.
Another great video by Football Iconic, man. Harry Kane is such a player. Harry Kane is such a player. But I am very much fascinated to check out some Leverkusen stuff, maybe some Girassi stuff. But yeah, man, when it comes to what Harry Kane is doing at Bayern Munich, it's exceptional. It's really taking me by surprise, taking most people by surprise, even though we know he's going to like a relatively weaker league and he bagged 30 goals for Spurs, so maybe it shouldn't have been a surprise. But it more lies around the sort of I would say opinion and perception that surrounds Harry Kane. Maybe because he's not flashy, maybe because he's relatively quiet, he's like a model professional. Maybe because of that, there is no sort of controversy behind him. His play style isn't like a Messi, like a Neymar, like something that's going to get you off the edge of your seat. Sometimes some of his passes maybe will, and some of his finishes, but in terms of like his overall play, he's just an efficient guy on the pitch, and he's so good at what he does, and he does what he does at such a high level. So maybe the opinion that surrounds Harry Kane is just he's really good, and everyone knows, and everyone sort of accepts that he's really good, but they don't really push him towards he's the best around. Maybe in his position, yes, but just generally overall, you see more of Haaland, you see more of Mbappe, you see more of Jude, you see more of even Messi still there, Ronaldo's still there, even though now he's playing in the Saudi League. But yeah, Harry Kane definitely deserves more respect, and he definitely has more respect from me, especially from what he's doing this season. But yeah, guys, that's the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like if you did, subscribe for more, and until next time.